Good evening. Welcome back. This is Dr. F. Mitch Simmons with Biblical Discovery Ministry. And tonight, what we're going to do, we're going to continue on with our studies of Exodus chapter 20, where God gave the 10 instructions, or 10 commandments known by many of y'all, to his children, his bride, the Israelites, his chosen people. And we was talking about in early episodes in 1 and 2 of this. This is part number 3. Okay? Part number 3. And we talked about that. We were talking about the 10 instructions and how they came through over the past 2,000 plus years. That we find there are 3 official versions of what we call the 10 Commandments. It is they call it Jewish sect. That's the exact words that God gave the Israelites on Mount Sinai. And these ones they've been following for all these thousands of years. Then there is the Christian form, or Catholic, because remember, the Catholicism started Christianity. Okay? They got their version of their 10. And then we have the Protestants. That means all these other denominations, particularly those of us who live here in the United States. There's some 3,000 different Christian various denominations of some form or fashion. Well, they have their set of the 10 words. And we've been talking about it, because we've been talking about that God gave us the 10 words on 2 tablets, 5 on one, 5 on the other. And we was telling that that's what God did. God gave us the first 5. On the first 5, it talks about how to love God. On the second 5 is how to love God's greatest creation. That's mankind. And then what we've been working on is I've been showing you a relationship between the first and 6, the second and the 7th, the 3rd and the 8th, the 4th and the 9th, the 5th and the 10th, and how 5 on this side, 5 on this side is basically the same thing. They're talking about the same thing. So as we go on tonight, what we're doing, we're working in part number 3. We're working from the, make it easy for everybody. This is what the Protestant says. The Protestant says, "You shall not take God's name in vain." The Jewish sect says, "You shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain." There's a big difference in them. One it says Lord your God, and the other one just said God. This question just for the Protestants. What's God's name? Please, if you know his name, write me, text me, email me, Facebook me, anything. Tell me what God's name is. Because you got in the 10 Commandments that you see in a lot of these church buildings, says you should not use the Lord's name, God's name in vain. And you know, most of us know basically what they meant. They was talking about forms of cursing. Okay, that they say in some circles they might even use the term GD, God damn. But God can't damn. God is only life. Okay, so they call that cursing. You shouldn't use it that way. And I'm not sure the other ways that they've been using it all the time, but I'm going to show you God's intent. All right. We'll look at it this way. Let me read this to you. See, "You shall not take the name of the Lord in vain." And the opposite, "You shall not steal." You shall not steal, or do not steal, and you shall not use the Lord's name in vain. Why are they the same? Okay. What is the crime addressed to the 3rd commandment? Some of the old sages and rabbis of the time had written it means there's 2 different ways. Either swearing falsely, like telling a lie, or swearing unnecessarily. But you know, to grasp a real sin, one must understand the nature of an oath. Okay? In Jewish law, an oath is only administered when there is no other possibility for determining the truth. If they can determine the truth, nobody has to make an oath saying, yeah, this happened, this didn't happen, this is not. Okay. Ideally, 2 witnesses establish the facts. We see that all throughout the Bible. Because in Deuteronomy it states, Deuteronomy 17:6, "In the mouth of 2 or more a matter is established." How can we find the truth? We need witnesses, at least 2, 3 possibly, but at least two say, yeah, this took place, or yes, this did not take place. Okay? But he goes on to say, but what if no one saw the event? How will we ever know what happened? Only the parties involved can explain, and their vested interest, as well as God Almighty above. He knows everything that has happened. An oath gives a legitimacy to the objectivity in the subject, credibility via the association with God. Every oath in effect says, if you do not believe me, then I swear to God, i.e., may God strike me dead, or if I'm not telling the truth, is accepting an oath in court insane. We have no alternative but to trust you when you take God as your granddaughter.
What are you reading from?
Writings I got here. Some notes I got.
You need to explain.
Okay. And basically what I'm reading from is, I'm reading from, you're probably thinking, what are some of the things? It's from the basics of Judaism. Where did Judaism come from? What is behind all the various things that they believe? So I'm reading some quotes from some of the sages, some of the rabbis, as well as other theologians has been before us. But anyway, an oath is given saying, well, you know, God's my witness. Okay? And we know if you're not telling the truth, you're saying, hey, God's going to take care of me, or not take care of me. The second type of an unacceptable oath is someone who says, I swear to God, this table is a table. I swear to God that this table is a table. Well, everybody knows this is a table. Why are you going to bring God into it? See, that falls into the category of unnecessarily revoking or trying to revoke the name of God. But we haven't gotten that point yet. We haven't said God's name yet, have we? We just said God. Yeah? We profane God's name by turning it into something uttered for no purpose. It is pointless and therefore profane. It takes the holy and treats it with irreverence. You shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain. In both types of unacceptable oaths, you are taking something that does not belong to you, and you have no right to use it. You're taking God's name, and you don't have a right to use it. But Dr. Simmons, I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian. Well, what's God's name, Christian? We go by G-O-D. People said, God we trust. What God? You look in the Bible, the Holy Scriptures, you see names as Ishtar, Baal, Zeus, Jupiter, Apollos. You'll see all kinds of names. Because we know from history that the Greeks had 12 major gods, plus a whole bunch more. The Romans had 12 major gods and a whole bunch more. Then you run into the Canaanites and all these other people. They had all these weird, they had a sky god. They had Mother Earth is a god. Because the sky god reigns on the Mother Earth, and Mother Earth gets pregnant and gives forth life. So we go out and we celebrate Mother Earth. Whoever Mother Earth is. You see, we don't know God's name, even though we can be God's children. Reason being for it, if you look in the book, we talked about that earlier. You'll see in the book capital L-O-R-D in English. If you look up in Hebrew, it's Y-H-W-H, and it's not pronounced. They intentionally do not pronounce that name so they won't blaspheme his name. Somebody might pronounce it wrong. Someone might use it in a place they shouldn't use it, to profane God, who is all of goodness, all holy, all hallowed. So they use the word Adonai. The Jews do. We use Lord all throughout in the different English translations. And we think God's name is God. Well, that word God is, we talked about earlier, it also comes from a word similar to Gothic. But basically what it means is Elohim. Okay? We saw it in Genesis. It says God, Elohim created man in our image, to image us, showing God the plurality of God, even though God is one. This is brought forth again, we spoke of earlier, Deuteronomy 6. O hear, O Israel, the Lord is God, the Lord is one, ahad. Not 3, not 12, not 30, one. He is the creator, he is the father, he is the maintainer, he is the sustainer, and he is our hope. And in him is our salvation. His words, God loved, we spoke of earlier in the scripture before, that God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. His only begotten son, he took the word, his spoken word, and gave it flesh, and it walked amongst us. That we call Jesus. Yeshua in Hebrew. Yeshua. Yah saves. Yah saves. You know, and we know you don't supposed to go the opposite end. We know you don't supposed to steal. Because why should I take something that belongs to somebody else? Why should I use a name that's not mine? Why should I take an object or objects or things that are not mine? They're wrong. It's wrong. That's not how you love God. That's not how you love your fellow man. If I take from my fellow man, I don't love him. If I misuse God Almighty, El Shaddai, if I misuse his name or his names, I am wrong. Because I'm taking something that's not mine. I can say, if I accept what the gift God has given me, that I am the son of God Most High, the one and only true God. I can say that. But it's interesting. Think about it. This is a huge thing, and I don't have time enough to go into all the areas we go into. But you know, it's down. First of all, it is down to one thing, and this one thing is very easily. It says in a word, theft, stealing, is linked between the commandments of 3 and 8, and it simply means don't take what's not yours. Jesus said in Matthew chapter 8, in the mouth of 2 or more malice established, similar to what was talked about if you're given an oath in court, or you got 2 or 3 people as being witnesses.
18.
In Matthew 18, Matthew 18.
Yeah.
Also, I reference also Deuteronomy 17:6. In the mouth of 2 or more, a matter is established. Jesus always said, how do we know that Jesus was crucified on the cross? Because he had 2 witnesses, one on his right, one on his left. How do we know that Jesus was born in the town of Bethlehem? There was more than 2 people there. How do we know that Jesus was circumcised at day 8 and named by his father Yeshua in the front of Simon and Anna? Because there was 2 witnesses. How do we know that Jesus performed miracles? There was 2 or more people saying, yes, I saw this. This took place. So the miracles of God, the workings of God, the blessings of God always has witnesses. The moment you just decide to take the name of God and make it yours, we got to stop right here. Run out of time. We'll come back with you with even more from Biblical Consulting Ministries. Shalom, shalom, and shalom.